What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite vehicles that we have on the lot, and that is the 2021 Chevy Blazer. So the Blazer is relatively new as far as this kind of reimagining of it. Of course, it was an old model that Chevy used to have. They took the nameplate, remade it into this more compact, modern looking SUV here. And I say compact is really not so compact. It's pretty large actually, as far as Chevy SUVs go. It falls a little bit smaller than the Traverse, but a little bit bigger than the Equinox. So kind of right in that sweet spot there. And I'll definitely put the measurements on screen so you know exactly how big it is. But again, it's this kind of reimagined version of the Blazer that was first revealed in 2019, and we've had 2 model years now. So we're up for a few additions. Not many and not significant, but a few additions, and we'll talk about those in this video, kind of what's new here on the 2021. But we're also just kind of walk through every single thing we've got on this trim that we're looking at here, which is an RS all-wheel drive. Now, this is the most expensive Blazer that we had on the lot. Comes in right around 45 grand. We did have a Premier, which is technically a higher trim level than the RS, but this one, because of its packages, is more expensive than that Premier. Also, it looks better because the Premier was in this kind of gray color, whereas this is this beautiful black on black look, which the Blazer absolutely nails in the aesthetics department. Not only with this black on black, but you can also get a bunch of new colors, which I'll definitely talk about in just a bit. But you can also get like a red and black RS, a blue and black RS, and the contrast is just out of this world. I love it. They are so sporty, so aggressive. They take so many elements from the kind of Chevy sports car heritage and put it here in an SUV, and it's absolutely beautiful. So let's get into what this 2021 RS all-wheel drive has on it, and we'll start up front and under the hood. There are 3 different engine options available on the Blazer. You can get 193 horsepower, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. You can get a 230 horsepower, 2.0 liter turbocharged engine. That's a 4-cylinder also, or you can get the 3.6 liter, which has 308 horsepower V6, which is what this one has. So 3.6 liter V6, 26 miles per gallon highway, 19 miles per gallon city, 308 horsepower, as I mentioned. It's an absolute monster under the hood there, and something so powerful with something that's this size. It's got some nice juice to it. Up front, like I mentioned, you have this super aggressive front end. This, again, since it's the RS and it's got some of those RS elements, super aggressive with the front grille, black Chevy bow tie, RS badging in red. You've got these really kind of low profile LED DRLs. You've got kind of your turn signal integrated as well. And then underneath you have your regular headlights, which are LED as well, and your high beams. Also on the front fascia here, you have a forward facing camera that's gonna work with your surround vision camera system, which we'll take a look at more inside the cabin. The sun is now out in all of its glory, so right in my eyes. This Blazer sits on 21-inch gloss black aluminum wheels. Huge wheels here for an SUV of this size. Moving on back, you've got these manual folding side mirrors here. They're body colored, integrated turn signal, side blind zone alert as well. They're heated. Moving on back, you've got keyless access, so you can use this little button on the side to lock and unlock the doors. Blacked out, powder coated Blazer badging on the side. It looks really nice. Up top, you've got some black roof rails. They're not as functional as you might see on other SUVs, but you could definitely put some crossbars on there or mount some kind of storage compartment on there if you wanted to travel. Up top, you've got a beautiful panoramic power tilting and sliding sunroof, kind of a 2-parter, looks fantastic. Makes the vehicle feel really premium. You've got black trim around the mirrors and the door panels, which looks awesome because it kind of just combines into that blacked out kind of stealthy, I mean, it's just so aggressive on this vehicle, both inside and out. So moving on to the back of the vehicle here, you have a really nice sculpted back end, some nice accents down underneath, sculpted LED taillights, which look amazing. You've got parking sensors dotted around the back here, powder-coated Blazer badging, all-wheel drive badging. You've got your red and silver RS badging, black bow tie, wiper. You've got kind of a little spoiler lip here just to keep stuff off your back windshield, but again, you got that wiper if stuff does actually get on it. Up underneath, you've got your standard rear view camera. You also have your rear view mirror camera, which we'll take a look at more inside, but that also has a little washer nozzle so you can spray and clean that off, which is nice to have as well. You do have the hands-free option on this liftgate. There's a little projector down underneath that shines a little Chevy bow tie that tells you where you need to put your foot to open the gate, just like that. It will go ahead and raise up for you. You can also open it with the key fob, and you could open it inside if you wanted to. Tons of storage space back here. This is a 2-row vehicle, so you get plenty of storage space with how long the vehicle actually is. Up underneath, you've got a spare tire that is 18-inch. Now, it's not going to marry so well with your 21-inch wheels that you've got on the RS here, but nonetheless, it'll get you where you need to go to get your tires replaced. You can drop the rear seats with a little lever here. There's one on either side. There's some cargo, spots underneath, some like trays and whatnot. There's room for a net. Looks like a 12-volt outlet as well. Yep. There's room for a cargo shade as well. So plenty of options back here, but not the most feature-rich back end, but plenty of storage space, as I mentioned. So that's really, really nice. You also have dual chrome exhaust tips, and yes, they are functional. So you've got actual exhaust coming out of both sides. Super sporty, super aggressive, just like the rest of the vehicle. And that's about everything that we got in the back. Let's hop inside the cabin. All right, so hopping inside this beautiful, spacious, modern cabin, this is one of my favorite features. And I know it's kind of broad strokes, but one of my favorite features of the Blazer, it's this cabin. It is so good looking. I don't know how else to say it than that. But the RS has some really nice features to it that kind of make it even more interesting. So a lot of the accents that you see around, like the red accent stitching, the red RS badging on the shift knob here, the red accents around the vents and things like that, they just give it this extra sportiness to it. The red strips that run across the leather seats here, the little perforations, they have kind of a red background to them where you can kind of like see through them like they're two-tone. Just really, really neat little touches that make this thing feel really, really top tier. So you got a lot of awesome features in here, but let's just start front and center with the steering wheel and the gauge cluster. So you've got a leather wrapped heated steering wheel here, accent stitching in that red color, like I mentioned. Again, this is kind of why that like black and red combo looks so good. I know this is an all black model, but that black and red looks so good because it kind of mirrors inside and out. Leather wrapped steering wheel, adaptive cruise control on the left side, media controls on the right side. This is the newly redesigned Chevy steering wheel. It's maybe the past 2-ish years they've been doing this, to where they've got the kind of redesigned button layout where you've got buttons that you can actually push on the left and right side, and then you've got these little scroll wheels to kind of get to your different features on the actual clusters themselves. Again, you've got your heated steering wheel button there, voice assistant button over here, forward automatic braking, all that kind of stuff on this side as well. You've got your lighting controls, you've got auto lights for your LED headlights, electronic parking brake here that you can push. Over on the left side, you've got your mirror controls, your window controls, your position memory here. Nothing really too like cluttered or complicated over on the left side, which you see a lot, nice and clean. Right past the steering wheel, you've got 2 traditional analog gauges and then a 4.2-inch digital cluster. So this isn't a full digital dash, but it's pretty close, and I think it looks really nice. It also kind of has a way to where it works itself into the analog clusters, and I'll demonstrate on screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. But you've got your oil temperature and your battery life kind of integrated into these circles that are the analog gauges, which I think is a really nice way to kind of bridge the two worlds together. Moving over to the right, you have a push to start engine here. Right under that, you can disable or enable your auto start stop engine, turn on your parking flashers as well. Moving on over from that, you have an 8-inch Chevy infotainment system. This is their Infotainment 3 system, recently redesigned within the past couple years. It's very clean, very easy to use, and very functional. We'll take a look at all that has to offer there. Right over from that, you have an automatic glove box, which I think is kind of cool. And then you can turn your traction control off. But let's get back over to this 8-inch infotainment center. Now, I'll be honest and say that it looks a little small comparatively to how much space is here on the dash. So I think they could have easily gotten away with a 10 or 12-inch horizontal display, and I think it would have been great. But for now, just the 8-inch option here. This is the top of the line one that you can get. So you've got all your standard audio, phone, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which are wireless, which is awesome. You've got navigation built in as well. I'm not a big fan of in-vehicle navigation systems. If you guys are familiar with the channel, you know that already, but you do have it and it's not the worst one I've seen. You've got a 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. You can set up specific users in the car, different profiles that will, do seating positions and things like that. Again, like I said, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You've got your climate control here, so you can control everything digitally on the screen here. You don't have to use the buttons underneath, but you do have them if you would rather use analog buttons. My Chevrolet app, Sirius XM radio, and you've got your cameraing menu, which we're going to take a look at right now. So this is Chevy's surround vision camera system, which uses a plethora of cameras to give you a bird's eye view of your vehicle. You've got one in the front, one on either side mirror, and one on the back. And it allows you to change through different views depending on what you want to see. So you've got kind of the whole 360-degree overhead view. You've got your rear view. You can tap it again. It'll switch to your front view, and then you can switch to different, like a top-down mode. You can see like your tires, all kinds of stuff. There's so many different options here, which is just a fantastic system to keep you safe when you're trying to park or trying to navigate into one of those kind of sketchy one-way streets with cars parked on either side. It's a fantastic system. All your controls here for your dual zone climate control system are right here. You can hit these little fan control buttons as well. Your kind of window defogger buttons are right there as well. But a nice little touch and a cool feature here is on these accented vents here with the nice red ring around them. You can actually move these around to position them how you want. You can twist them closed if you don't want the airflow to come out, just like you can on the Camaro. But the actual rings themselves are what you use to adjust your temperature. So they've got, little arrows telling you which way, left for cool, right for warm. And you can actually twist the entire gauge itself to turn your climate control up or turn it down depending on which season you're in, which I just think is such a cool touch. It's so much better than just having a button, just having this nice big control here. Super cool, super different, and something that you don't really see that often. In the center of these two vents here, you do have one USB-C port, which is awesome, very modern port there, and a USB-A port. Up under that, there is a Qi-enabled wireless charging pad, which is great because now that you have wireless CarPlay, you don't have to have cords at all. You can if you want, but you don't have to because you can power your wireless CarPlay with your phone and just drop it right onto that wireless charging pad to stay charged up. Moving on back from that, you've got this nice kind of glossy plastic shell here that goes around the cup holders and the gear shift here. So 2 cup holders here, and then you have a 9-speed automatic transmission here. It's got a manual mode as well. It's leather wrapped with this nice RS kind of badge and stitching on the actual leather part here. Moving on back from that, you've got your drive mode selector here. And then underneath the center console here, you have a 12-volt outlet, another USB-C port, and another USB-A port, and a nice deep pocket here for storage. Again, this is leather wrapped as well, or leather appointed maybe more so with that red accent stitching. Really, really cool, nice, large, comfortable center console here. So we're gonna jump back up real quick and talk about the rear view mirror here. So this is your just standard auto dimming rear view mirror, but it also has your rear view mirror camera inside as well. So if you go ahead and flick this switch, now the mirror becomes a display that shows what your camera in the back is seeing. So you can adjust that with these buttons on the side here, which is great. Customize it however you want, zoom it in and out, tilt it, raise it up and down, that kind of stuff. It's a great feature to have. It does have universal HomeLink garage door controls in the vehicle, but they're actually up here instead of being on the mirror itself. So you've got those 3 right here. You can tilt your shade or pull your shade back for your panoramic sunroof, and you can also actually move it back if you want, and then you've got your little sunglasses holder up top. Panoramic sunroof right here, super nice. I'm not going to open it up because it'll let in too much light, but it is beautiful and definitely a welcomed addition to this vehicle. You also have a Bose 8-speaker premium audio system in here. Now that is one of those things that you're going to get on those higher trim levels. Normally you have like a 6 or 8 speaker system, but here, Bose premium audio system. In the back, you do have vents. You don't have your own climate system back there, but you do have vents. You've got a 120-volt outlet back there as well, so full like 3-prong plug back there. USB-A, USB-C, and then you have heated seats in the back, which is awesome. So as far as seating surfaces go, you've got these beautiful jet black leather seats with the red accent stitching and the red perforations kind of up underneath. I'll give you a close-up so you can see. You also have these red accent lines that kind of run between. Again, these are heated and ventilated. You've got an 8-way power driver seat, 6-way power passenger seat. Now outside, I mentioned there were a couple new things going on in the 2021. Typically, when we're this close to the initial release, it's mostly like a rearranging of the contents of different packages. So like your safety packages or your driver appearance packages, things like that. But we also have a few new colors. So I'm just gonna read to you kind of what we've got going on in 2021 that's new. So the safety assist package that includes automated emergency braking, automatic high beams, front pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist is now standard on the 2LT, 3LT, RS, and Premier trims. So that is the first change. Also, Blazers with the V6 engine and front wheel drive, so not this one, this has the all wheel drive, but the front wheel drive version can now be equipped with a trailering package that allows this configuration to tow up to 4,500 pounds versus the standard 1,500 pound limit on the front wheel drive models. There's also, again, like I mentioned, a set of new paint colors. So the new colors we have available are pewter, iron gray, cayenne orange, and cherry red. And I will definitely have those on screen so you guys can see what we're looking at. Again, this is black, so this isn't new. All right, guys, and that is the 2021 Chevy Blazer RS. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below, what is your favorite feature of the RS trim? Do you like that power tilting and sliding panoramic moonroof? Do you like the awesome gauges on the inside, the surround vision system? It's just an incredibly aggressive looking SUV and I absolutely love it. The only downside to me is that price tag at 45 grand, but you get a lot for 45 grand. Let's have a conversation down in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be able to be the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.